Hi, Internet viewers. Frank Rauscher again. On our last video, we've got the beak done. We got all the underneath side of the tail. I just want to show you that again so you can see it. The rump is still white down at this end. If you need to do a little touch up, you can touch it up in that area right there. The beak is pretty close to the color we need, okay? And that was a mix of the cadmium red, very little, into the cadmium yellow, and more of the yellow than the red. And that's how we got it. And then we put maybe a light coat of raw sienna on top of that. So I want to go back over that just to make sure that you're in tune to what we had done on the last video, okay? Now, what I want to do, and I'm going to show you from my original piece, we're going to go in and put the striping, the white in the feathering here so that you can get a good handle on that, see what we have here. That's all going to be added in, and I'll show you how to do that, okay? And we're getting closer and closer to finishing, thank God, okay? And then we'll start another project. So I'm going to take you down, but before that, just one more thing, a little commercial here. If anybody needs anything, like if you want a kit to do this, plus the eyes, the feet, and the pattern, and the blank, I have them available as a kit form, or you can get them individually, however you want to do it. I do have a catalog, which is about 5 pages or so, and if you need something, I can send it out to you. And if you write to me through my email address, which is Rauscher, R-A-U-S-C-H-E-R, Frank, F-R-A-N-K, 7@gmail.com, I will email it out to you, okay? And then if you care to purchase some things from me, fine. And if not, that's okay too. I would hope that if you like my videos, that you would also subscribe. And if you could also mention this to your friends or something like that, that I do have several videos with, I did one animal, which was the otter, and the rest of them are birds right now, but I will be switching around to do different things. I will continue doing that, and if they're interested in any of this, I do have kits in it for the projects I've done, and I've done a lot of birds over the years, so I do have a lot of birds available in kit form or just patterns, whatever you like. And I do have equipment that I sell, plus paints, brushes, and so on. So if anybody needs anything, definitely contact me. And so I'm going to move the camera down, and we'll see if we can't get this thing probably finished as far as the painting goes at the moment, you know, but we're getting pretty close on the wrapping up the bird itself. So bear with me, and we'll move the camera down. Okay, back again. I pulled my tray out. Remember I said I had a cover over it and I had a block of wood on top, or just something to seal it anyway. And what I'm going to ask you to do is come in and stir your paints, whatever we're going to use. We're using the white today. This white's been sitting for several days, so it shows you how long this thing can be preserved somewhat. As long as you put a couple drops of water and then seal it, you can rework these paints. You don't have to give up the ghost or wait until my next video comes. You can capture that, okay? So let me reiterate that you can save this, okay? And in some cases, when it's too long, then I start with a fresh batch. But you can revive these paints or keep them alive for a while, okay? And that's some of the beauty of the acrylic paint. Now, let me show you here where we had a boundary before between the mantle, the yellow mantle, and the wings that were black. I left a little bit of white, and what I'm going to do is we're going to go up into the black. I'm getting my optivisors on, which is my magnification, because it really helps me, and I try to do that whenever I can. Now I have the titanium white paint here, which I just stirred up. Take the excess off and get this into a point. And what I want to do is, we had our main feathers here. You have like 1, 2, 3, 4. You hardly see them here, but then we have a band coming across down here. I want to start on those and come into the black just a little bit. And as we come down, we get a little wider, like so. But we have these 3 on the ends here, or 4. I don't want to go into them at all, so I'm going to come down right up to them, but not including. Now these start out thinner up here and wider down here. This is about maybe 1/8 of an inch out from the yellow here. Okay, and I want to make it like a sweeping white coming through. And if you have any black, make sure you get that all covered. And what we may need to do is we'll probably give it 2 coats, okay? Now, I'm gonna work one side at a time, because we'll dry this and then we can handle it, which I prefer to do by my hand rather than hold it on that device I was showing you earlier. And what I'm gonna do now is just come in on these 4 coming down here. So I'm going to come into the edge. I'm going to sweep around. Okay. Like so. Then I'm going to hit the edge on this one. Sweep around. Touch that one up. Looks like that one spot didn't take the white like that. Just get a little bit of it in there. Then I'll come in and do the next one. I'm doing my fingers very nicely. I want to get that off so I don't get it all over the place. See if I can touch this just so. Hope I'm in the camera range here again and not moving out. There you go. And then we have a 4th one right here. And try to stay on the feather, not off of it. Okay, like so. So we got those 4. Now, we're going to start with these coming down. Your secondaries, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you have a group of them swinging down through here. So I'm going to charge up my brush again. Take the excess off. Get this into a point. And then I'm going to touch these up just on the edge. I'm going to start here. And you need a pointy brush, really. That has a nice point to it. So you can keep in control. Let's see. This one here will come right in here. And I try to take my time. And if you notice, I have my finger balanced on the piece that holds the brush because it gives me some steadiness. So I'm trying to give you some idea of how to control now. I'm going to show you something here. I think I'm a little off the feather. So here's what you do when you do that. You rinse your brush out, take the excess off, and you just have a nice wet brush. What you want to do, just come in, and the brush will act as like a sponge. Then the last thing you can do, make sure you can absorb it all, is to come in with a paper towel. And that didn't quite do. So, I'm gonna rinse the brush out. We're gonna play a game here. That's why I got the black. I saved the black, stirred that up, get that into a point, and then I'm gonna come in on that lower feather and get it back the way it was. There we go. Now I'm going to try to stay away from that until it dries. So I don't want to go in, and I'm going to rinse my brush out real good because you don't want to get the black and the white together to make a mess. So you want to get, so I'm going to come and take a step down, and I'm going to do the next feather lower so there's no wetness coming along. I think I got more than I need on here. Let me just roll this a second, see if I can do this now. I'm going to come in here and slide that down and around. Okay. And then I'm going to come to the next one. And the next one. The next one. And the next one. Now I didn't charge my brush up. And you could see it didn't come up as bright. And that's fine too. So I'm going to charge my brush up again. And what I'm going to do, since we're working everything on this side, I'm going to let that dry. And I'm going to come back to where we were up in the end of the mantle here onto this grouping of feathers. And I'm going to apply another coat of white, which should make this pop a little bit more right in here, just like so. So you can see it gets brighter. Now I'll charge my brush up, take the excess off, and I need a point, a good point. I just want to do half of the white I have done here. So if you have a thin brush, you can just do like the back end like that. Now I got a little white on the black. I'll come back and get that afterwards. I'm going to just touch it up. And it takes a steady hand. I just take my time and I hit it a second time to really brighten up that. Okay, now I'm going to come back in here, and I think that feather I messed up before. I will come in and do that one now. So we did this whole grouping. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Come around here and get this. And then I'll come in and do all of these. So charge my brush up, take the excess off. Then I'm going to come in here and come back. Just do the back end. And that one I just did, I'm going to let go for the moment. Do the one below it. Come back to that one in a minute. Now, you can see that one sort of jumped a little bit right in here. So, not a problem. I'm going to leave it alone, and I'll come back and revisit this. I'm going to just highlight the back end of the ones I did before, like so. So one's like ghosted in, the other one is coming brighter. There we go. Now I'll come in and I'll do this one in here I just did. Brighten up that one. There we go. Now I'm going to rinse my brush out, making sure I got all the white out. I'm going to get some black on my brush, and I got it into a point. And this one I sort of messed up a little bit, so I'm going to come in and just go over the white. And that'll cover that. Okay. And I think I had a little bit of a touch up right in there. Do that. Let's see how, there was another one here. So you come in and just touch that up. Now, we're now going to have to do the primaries, which are these coming down here. So let me rinse my brush out again. And the key here is make sure when you rinse your brush out that all the black paint's out of there. Then charge up your brush, take the excess off for sure. You don't want this loaded. And you want to twist, I twist the brush so that it goes into a point. Okay, so I'm going to come down here. That, you know what I should have done was just take a little bit more off. Let me do something here. Now, say if you did that and you want to get rid of it, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to circle the Indians there with all the wet paint. Put my tissue on there, and I'm going to do that again. Just hit that. See, and it takes it right away. So there's ways of recouping on this as well, too. Okay? So let me just play this safe. I'm going to just get the hairdryer in that one spot so we can continue on. Now, here we go. I'm going to charge the brush up again. And this time I'm going to roll it on the paper so I get a nice sharp point. And you got to watch that first touch. You don't want that real blobby like I did on the first go around here. And what's hard to distinguish too is the feather itself. Because it's black, they all tend to blend into each other. So be careful on that end, that you're on the feather you should be when you're putting this in. And you're coming up so right on the edge, a distance out a little bit more, like this. Sort of fades out up here. This is where my magnification helps me out a lot. Okay. Now they're not going on as heavy, and I understand that because I'm assuming I'm going to have to come back and do this second coat like I did on all the rest. Now you can see when I refresh the brush how it gets a little brighter. Now I get my pinky on the end here and try to steady myself so that when I do touch that, I'm just touching it. Just touching the edge. This is a test of your patience here. And if you do get messy with the white, don't worry about it. You can always come back and use the black after you dry the white to act as like an eraser, and you just go back and enhance the black to cover the white that you may have messed up on. Okay. Doing a great job with my finger in a way. Now I want to take this out just a little bit further. There you go. And here. Now I'm going to come back on this. This is the upper one again. Like so. Then I'll hit the second one. Okay. Let it fade out as we go out. There's the third one. Here's the fourth one. And so on. Okay. Now, I'm just going to drag a couple of these out a little bit longer. Like this. Not much, just a little bit. Okay. And if I need a little more highlight one over another, I'll come back. But they all should be the same intensity as that one. Now, in the one area, I'm going to show you how to recoup again. I'm going to charge my brush up with the black, put it here and roll it into a point. Now, I have a little bit of a mess up right in here, so I touch it up there. I have a little white where it's not supposed to be, so I touch that up. Okay. And that'll do it. Now, to expedite things, I want you to do the exact feathers on this side, okay? Exactly what we did, all of them in here. You have the white that starts right here. This is that grouping that comes down. It's a small grouping. You're going to start here with the white. You're going to be a little bit on the mantle, and it gets about 1/8 of an inch wide as we go down, and that's to the end here, okay? Then you got your secondaries, which are 1, 2, 3, and then this grouping swings down and around here. You're going to do all of those. You have the 4 down here. Take your time doing those, and then you have your primaries, which are only going up in halfway, so you're only going to get one sticking out on the ends here. You don't have a full swing, okay? So, and I'm just realizing too, when I looked at this, I didn't carry that last one out, so I'm going to charge my brush up, get my white back, and I want to finish this one. This actually comes back a little bit more right into there. Okay, like so. So, if you can complete this side to that side, that would be great. And like I said, it starts out thin up here, and it's coming down on that small grouping right in there, and it's about 1/8 of an inch wide. And then when it gets down to these 4 down in here, you're stopping, okay? So if you could proceed on with that, and we will pretty much start the mounting of the bird. Oh, one other thing I want to do too, without putting my fingers into things, I'm going to just try something here. As a last coat, I'm going to come into my yellow here, which I have. I'm stirring that up pretty good. And what I want to do is I'm going to put this on my paint tray right here. I'm going to rinse that out. I have a little bit of water right here. I'm going to pick that up with this. I'm watering that down, and I'll show you what I mean. If I put it there, you could hardly see the yellow. So it's very watery. I'm going to come over the beak and just put a slight yellow tinge. You can hardly see it over the beak, just like so. It's very light. It's a real watered down yellow wash. So if you could do that, that would be the final. And I'm just looking on the bottom here too. If I get the black, stir that up again, take the excess off. Yeah, here we go. I'm just going to give this a coat on the bottom here, on the outside one. Seemed very uneven. And I just want this one dark. Not the center ones, the ones going into the middle are a gray color. Okay, so that gets us pretty much wrapped up. You're going to be doing this on the other side. They don't come up all the way. They sort of fade off. You could probably take that out a little bit more on a real final white, like so. And it doesn't have to be I'm going to get my brush, take the excess off. You want to come out just a little bit more on the edges here. Let's say, maybe I'm getting a little chintzy here as far as getting the white out. I'd say a little further out like this. And if you notice, it's not coming on strong, which is a good thing because I want it to fade. Okay, so if you can get it out about that far. That should do it. And it's brighter at the end and fading as it goes in. So, hope you enjoyed what you learned. And if you did, I'd ask you to give me a thumbs up. And if you could subscribe to my channel. And also, if you have any friends or anybody that may be interested and want to try it, I'd appreciate it if you can push my information on to them. And we will get this to the point where we're going to start making this a mounted bird here very soon. I'm going to show you how to do the feet next. We got the beak. We got all the highlights. We don't do anything in the tail. And if you happen to spot something, I'm seeing a little white peeking out over here. So I'm getting a little bit of the black, and I go right in there just to make sure that I got everything covered, okay? And you do your little fix-ups and things like that. Rinse out your brush always after you're done. Get it out, and then twirl it a little bit to maintain that point, okay? Especially on these real smaller brushes that you're trying to maintain the point because you're doing fine work, okay? So, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next video. And if anybody needs anything, definitely contact me. My email address is Rauscher, R-A-U-S-C-H-E-R, Frank, F-R-A-N-K, 7@gmail.com. And I will see you on the next video. Take care. Bye.